terrific thing to discuss with you today. It's on the topic of imagination and visualization. See, most people don't realize it, but they're born with this terrific gift inside them. It's called imagination. And imagination defined is really your fantasy within you that hasn't yet realized its potential or its reality in your real world. And see, when you have imagination and you visualize yourself achieving and accomplishing things in your life, all things are possible in reality. I want to share some quotes with you from some famous people. You know, J.C. Penney, the founder of Penny Stores, once was having a beer with a buddy. And at this point in his life, he was 90 years of age. And his buddy said to him, "Hey, J.C., how is your sight?" And he said, "You know what, buddy? My sight is shot, but my vision is terrific," he said. In another scenario separate from that, Helen Keller once was being interviewed by a news reporter. And the news reporter said to Helen Keller, he said, "Helen, it must have been a difficult life to live the way you are, you know, blind as you are and such." And she says, "No, not at all. My life is tremendous. It's perfect." She says, "You know what, sir? The real sadness in this life are all the people who have their sight but have no vision." You know, I think that's worth remembering. That's pretty powerful. I want to tell you another story about vision. In the late 1980s, I would say the 87, 88, I actually moved from New York to Philadelphia to go to college at night. And I was living with a family, Michael and he called himself Mike, and Lee Hegarty, and they had 3 little boys. They had triplets. Boy goodness, their hands were totally occupied. They were kept on the go all the time. But Mike had something about him. He was a unique kind of person. He didn't tell me a lot of information, but I could tell he had this great stature and this great build. He had something going on in his life that was very different from the mainstream of people. You could sense that from him. He was just a special human being. And he was a man that apparently didn't need to have a job. He had plenty of money, and in this area of Overbrook in Philadelphia, where I stayed with them, it was a very fashionable, very nice, upscale neighborhood. Now one day I got a knock on my door, boom, 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 and there it was Mike. And Mike said, "Hey buddy, I got a couple of days work for you." "Oh, really, Mike?" I said, "Thank you very much." He said, "Lee will come to the door in the morning. She'll wake you up. She'll get you going, okay? We'll be ready to go in the van." The following morning, I wake up myself. I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I end up getting in the van with him and riding across Philadelphia, probably about a half an hour's drive. We were in South Philly, as I understood it at that time. Then he helped me get all of the items out of the van. We were in an apartment complex. I didn't quite understand where we were going or what we were doing because I was new to the area, but it turns out that he owned an apartment complex in South Philly, and what we were doing is we were going to do a turnkey on an apartment, which meant we were going to clean all the trash out and we were going to paint it and refurbish it. And so this was our project. Now, Michael was a very capable man, and I couldn't grasp what all the details were to what were going on with him. But we removed the stuff from the van. We walked up those stairs, and now you can see us going up there. And as he was going up with me, I noticed on his arm a tattoo, and the tattoo said USMC, standing for United States Marine Corps. Now I was getting an idea where this man was coming from and how he was such a unique and different person. And we got to the top floor. We went into apartment number 303. And my goodness, the place was totally trashed. It was unbelievable. The amount of garbage had been there for weeks. The old furniture, the chairs, the things, the doggy smell, everything. It was all horrible. Anyhow, we ended up removing that over a couple of hours, taking it all to the trash. And we ended up with an empty apartment that had 4 walls that basically needed painting. Then he said, "Hey, take the 5-gallon drum of paint. Take the lid off for me if you wouldn't mind." And so we ended up doing that. He took the paint brush out, roller, and he started rolling, and just there like this, he started across the ceiling. He was magical. He was perfect on the roller. Whoa, man, he was rolling the thing good. Yeah, I could tell he was really good painter. He loved it. He was an artist almost at doing it. And I was awestruck by his maneuvers. In fact, he reminded me like a Fred Astaire who was in a dance routine. I just couldn't believe it. And then, there in a moment, just like the dawn struck and the day of night changed, he told me about his great uniqueness. He said, I was a Marine in '68 in the jungle. I had an accident. A bomb blew up. I lost my sight and I'm totally blind. But he said, I didn't allow that to change my life, even though I'm blind. I've got clear vision, and I got a vision of my future. And this way, my life has never changed. Wow, I was blown away. I just couldn't believe what he just told me. I had known him about 3 or 4 months, and now already I just found out he was blind and never could have told that because he didn't walk with a cane. I had no idea. The man was unbelievable. And folks, I just want to say this to you. You have sight. Use your sight, and you have imagination. Use your imagination and your vision to create the life you want and have all the things in your reality that you can achieve. If blind people can do it, you can do it.